Aloha, everybody. For this episode in particular, I just wanted to give you a heads up. We had a little bit of connectivity issues, so we've tried to clean it up as best as possible. This conversation was too fun not to post, but we still hope that you can find something great out of this and enjoy this episode with two nerds in a podcast. All right, enjoy this episode.
The Joy Schtick Show. The Joy Schtick Show.
Aloha and welcome to the Joy Schtick Show, a podcast where three friends from high school in Hawaii get together to chat about the latest things we've watched, read, and played. I'm Thomas, and I'm here with Scott.
How's it, everybody?
And today we have two very special guests who've started their own podcast and are just like flying through it. I've listened to some episodes and I'm really, really loving what you both are doing. The chemistry is off the charts. But we have Jamie and Kacie from Two Nerds in a Podcast. Jamie and Kacie, how are you doing?
Good. Just chugging along here.
Yeah. Kacie?
Doing good. Yeah.
Just living the dream.
I love it. I know one of you had a birthday recently and you joined the 30 Club.
I did yesterday. Well, when we're recording, it was yesterday.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How does it feel to be in the 30 Club?
Weird. It's weird because I don't feel like I'm 30. I barely feel like I'm 25, so mentally,
Oh yeah, and that
not
just
there.
keeps going on forever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. My
your
friend
body
sent me...
tells you otherwise. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, my body's been like 80 years old since I graduated college, so I'm old on the inside, but not mentally.
There you go. Hey, that's probably the better way to be, you know, as long as your mind keeps telling you could do it, you could do it.
Yeah.
So, welcome to the club. Happy birthday.
Yes,
Thank
happy
you.
birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
So we got, I think we just lost
We
Kacie
lost
for a little bit.
I think she was just tuning in for the birthday, and she's got a heart
And then
out.
she's
so-
like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I needed to be here for.
Yeah. Happy birthday. Peace. Not a problem. So with that being said, it's a question for both of you. And again, we lost Kacie, but we'll start with you, Jamie.
Mhm.
If you had to live in any fictional anime world for 1 week, which one would it be?
Oh, gosh.
Okay.
You said
Yeah,
anime? I haven't watched a lot of anime. So the only two anime that I have seen in my whole life is One Piece
Okay.
and Attack on
Good one.
Titan.
So one of those
Probably-
worlds seems way better than the
I'm
other.
going to live in One Piece. I'm
Yeah,
not
there
going to
you
live in
go.
Attack on Titan.
Yeah,
Yeah, F that, dude.
Yeah,
that,
no.
that would be horrifying.
Or
So,
even the
yeah.
elite get murdered. No
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah,
right. Well, that seemed like a pretty easy question then.
yes.
It was like a hardball that turned quite into a softball when the options got limited.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's awesome. What did you think about One Piece, wherever you're at? I'm sure you haven't watched all 1,000+ episodes, unless you have, which I'm impressed.
I have not. That's my goal, is to watch all of them and be caught up. I just surpassed episode 200. So I just
Ooh.
finished. Yeah, I just finished the Skypiea arc.
Ooh,
They're
nice,
currently stuck in the Marine base right now, so they're trying to escape. But so far, I really love One Piece. My friend Wyatt made me watch through the live action because I'm the normie in his friend group who doesn't watch anime until this point. And so he was like, you have to watch the live action for a YouTube series. And I was like, I got you, fam. And then I liked, I was like, sure. And then I liked the live action that I was like, fine, I'll watch the anime. And now I can't stop. So now I'm in One Piece forever.
Yeah, that's so good to hear.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
It
All
just
right,
gets it just gets better and better.
That's
Yeah.
what I've heard. So I'm super
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so we got Kacie back, sort of. All right, I don't see
Kind
her.
of.
Do
Can you hear me?
see her?
No, it says we're not able to display this camera and mic.
Okay. All right. That's okay. You can message her,
Maybe
take a
fresh.
little TO, and then we'll get on to our next question. Which is, it's funny because it's a dual question, but
Ooh.
Scott, you can figure this out.
Yeah. Oh, you might be able to answer it. So this is from our other member, Drake, who's on his road trip
Road trip.
trying to enjoy that trip. He
Hopefully he
I'm trying
learns
to make
to
something-
relax.
yeah,
Yes.
he's trying to learn to relax, taking the scenery, not be in control. Maybe he didn't want people knowing that, but they do now.
Oh my god.
The internet knows all.
Yeah.
It's fine. We love him. Okay, so his question is, he's like, you're both besties. What is your origin story, and what current animation style reflects your vibe?
Ooh. Okay, so our origin story, Kacie and I have... Hello, are you back? Kacie?
Hello.
Maybe not.
It's me. I don't know the rest of the words of that song. That's all I know.
Yeah, you're like,
I
that's
Sorry,
thought
what I got.
Scott would help me out, but he did it.
I was in between songs. I was like, what song is this?
What song is this one? Yeah. Do anyone if that's the case. Left me hanging like a Chad. And then you froze.
so-
Perfect. Or I froze.
Somebody's frozen.
Yeah.
I don't know. But Kacie and I have known each other. We were talking about this not too long ago. Since we were both in junior high, actually. So I've known her since I was 13. And I'm now currently...
Well, then I think I was in elementary school, wouldn't I have been?
Were you?
I think I was.
Okay. So, like, right on the
And then
edge.
you
We
were in
met-
junior high.
Yeah, we met via karate. We both did karate growing up.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, we got our black belts together and everything.
Whoa, you have black belts? That's awesome.
Yeah, we do.
Mhm.
So that's how we met, and then she ended up transferring to the school district that I was in. So we were 2 years apart, but we were, for the most part, at the same school for most of the time. So we just kind of hung out after school mostly, and then occasionally in school, and then have just kind of stayed connected that way. And then our parents became friends and stuff like that too. So that helped a
Aw.
Oh,
lot.
that's really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is very sweet. Kacie, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I mean, I think, we met through karate, and then we just, became super close, and then our parents became super close, so it was just kind of, we spent a lot of time growing up together, us and our families.
Yeah, because karate was always 2 to 3 days a week after school. And then, because our parents were friends, we did Disneyland and Universal and all that together, so...
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna quickly say this though too. I can't tell if I'm cutting out or if you guys are cutting out. So if there's a weirdly long pause, I'm sorry. I'm probably on freeze or someone's on freeze or something. So just throwing it out there. It's not you.
We're used to it. Trust us.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Love the internet. Just gotta love it. Yeah. Okay. So I have another question for you. How and when did your nerd awakening begin?
Ooh.
I've been a nerd my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're since birth?
Truly, because
I've known what to say.
my dad specifically is a big Star Wars nerd, and so
Yeah.
I was raised on Star Wars. He also is a big airplane Air Force nerd, so my parents' first date was Top Gun, which is such a nerdy thing to see. And
Nice.
so I mean, just the nerdiness has always been there.
Yeah. He took her to the highway to the danger zone right off
He
the
did.
bat. So that was
Yep.
pretty romantic.
Yeah, and they're still married today, so something worked.
That must have been it.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah. What
Yeah.
about you, Kacie? Where do you feel like your nerddom first evolved? What was the show that both you saw and you're like, oh my God, I love this. And I don't want to tell anybody about it, but this might make me a nerd. Or
Well,
movie
I told
or
everybody
book.
about it.
Oh, I love it.
Told
Yeah, I
everybody.
tell everybody.
I love it because I feel like I was pretty I was a nerd in elementary school, and then I feel like I was kind of a closeted nerd for a long time. To me and Scott were sitting in physics class, and I overheard him talking to one of our other friends, John, about the X-Men movie. And they were saying all kinds of stuff wrong, at least in my perspective at the time. And I was like, actually, and I had to push up my glasses and jump in there.
Thomas just slides in like those open desks. He's just like, "Are you guys talking X-Men?" We're like, "What?"
Which is very much true.
Yeah.
And
From then on, I think.
Yeah, from then on, we started playing Smash Brothers together and,
Amazing.
going to video game tournaments. And then it just opened a whole can of worms after that. But I think I've had different phases where I've really dove into like geekdom, fandom, nerddom, and like backed away from it for life things and jobs and all that stuff. And, COVID was a thing for us that really got us back into it. But I don't know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, was that around where you both decided to start the podcast? Like, where's the origin story for that?
Kacie, I'm gonna let you take that away because this whole thing was her idea. I never listened to podcasts or paid them any mind really before she was like, "Let's start a podcast." And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I love podcasts. I've always I feel like I've listened to podcasts for before podcasts were like a thing. And then I've always wanted to do one, and I was like, what better person than Jamie, the most creative person I know, already has a YouTube channel, so I was like, this is perfect. And we love nerdy stuff. I could talk about it forever. I know that. I know she could too. So
Yes.
That's all. Yeah, and I mean, you've done some already great episodes. I think there was one on cons. There was one on, was it just Jensen Ackles, or was that on the con as well? I know there's like I
went to a pure supernatural convention. So it was only supernatural stars. And it was the first one I had ever been to. And it was the second time I got to see Jensen Ackles with my own two eyeballs. And so it was a ton of fun. But yeah, we both love conventions, concerts, all of that.
Yeah, I just went to WonderCon this past weekend, and it was so much fun. And I think I saw that one of you had gone to WonderCon as well. Is there any type of what's your favorite cons out of all of them, and why do you like them?
I mean, I think on a not super overwhelming point of view, WonderCon is always my favorite because it doesn't really matter what part of the convention. Like, if you love to cosplay, there's a whole group of people there for you. If you love to just shop, there's a big enough artist alley that you can do some shopping, get some cool stuff. If you love panels, they've got tons of stuff planned every single day. And there's a lot of people, but there's not as much as like San Diego Comic-Con. Because I went to that.
True.
And I was floored by the amount of people just
on the floor.
Outside of the convention, and then you go inside the convention and it's worse.
I've only been to one time, and I remember filming the walk from the front of the convention to the back of the line, and it was like a 10-minute video. I was like, this line just keeps going.
And it was sped up, right? Like,
I think it's and I was like, we're gonna have to get here earlier tomorrow because we thought we got here early.
It was 3 times speed, and it was still 10 minutes.
I believe it. My gosh. I think WonderCon, like something that size, is a lot of fun. Whether, like, because when I went, not last year, but the first time I ever went, I went one day with my younger brother, who is a nerd, but not as big as a nerd as I am, and he had fun. And then I went the next day with my best friend, Christine. She's a giant nerd. We had a blast. And then I went with my mom the last day, who is also a nerd. Again, not as nerdy as me. And she had fun. So WonderCon is like a really good size convention for any level of nerd to go to. Whereas I feel like Comic-Con, you have to be mentally prepared and super dedicated, because otherwise you're going to look at it and go, physically, mentally prepared. Otherwise you're going to be like, I'm going to leave now.
Yeah. Definitely.
Sure.
It is exhausting. I'm exhausted after WonderCon being there, not even the full 3 days, but you're right. San Diego Comic-Con is a monster. And I think one of the days I put in like 7 miles. I was blown away by that. But
gosh.
Yeah. It sounds like a nightmare, right, Kacie?
Yeah.
So Kacie, What cons have you been to?
So I've only been to one con, and it was like it was quite a while ago. I went to one up in Portland, and it was, I can't remember the name of it, but it was an anime convention.
Okay.
And it was a pretty small one. It was just like at the little convention center in Portland. But it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. I definitely want to go to like some bigger ones. But this one was fun. I got to see all the art, and I did like a little cosplay, not like Jamie. Jamie goes like balls to the wall. She goes crazy.
Nice.
I think I had like, my hair was orange at the time, so I just did like a Misty cosplay from Pokemon. I was like,
Yeah.
this
That's a good one.
This is easy.
Yeah.
And it
that's
was like, I think I
perfect.
went last minute, so I was like, I'll just do this.
Yeah,
But it was a lot of
whatever's in the
fun, and
closet.
yeah, whatever I can find. But I really want to do like a big convention and like do a full, like, I have like cosplay ideas and lots of characters in my mind. So I need to get Jamie to help me.
Yeah, and
There
then
you
once you
go.
start, you can't stop. It's just like you're like, this
Yeah.
is my life now. I own all the crafting supplies and all of the fabric and everything.
And you can
Oh
only
my
level
gosh.
up, right? You're like, I
Yeah.
gotta go bigger next year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your brain starts coming up with new ideas, and you're like, I can do this. And then it's like 2 days before the convention, and you're like, maybe I shouldn't have done this.
Yeah, you're walking around and like, I'm gonna go with a better glue next time. You're like judging your own costume.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly. A piece of armor's falling off or something.
Yeah.
You're like, who's got safety pins?
Uh, yes, exactly.
Yeah. I think in one of our Halloween episodes, we talked about this. It was a long, long time ago, but we're both from Hawaii. And so we tried to go out and do Halloween in Waikiki, which is like kind of a popular space in Honolulu, but it was so freaking hot. And with that being said, we
yeesh.
went to a fabric store and bought a bunch, like massive pieces of fabric, and sewed together them just like a gingerbread man, just squished together and stitched together on each side. But we went as Care Bears, and it was great.
Amazing.
It was awesome. But an hour into it, I was like, this is so dumb. I'm sweating so bad.
Yeah.
I'm so hot.
Yeah.
And then it was, at the time we were young and single, and we are like, oh, we're gonna have girls hug us. It's gonna be great. But then these two zombies hugged me and got blood all over it, and it pissed me off so bad.
Yeah,
And I was just like,
hard.
get off of me! You're ruining my Care Bear outfit. So yeah, it was a catch-22 definitely on that one.
Yeah, of course we stayed up till like 4 a.m. the night before. And before going into it, we're like, we're gonna bang these out in a couple hours. It's gonna be easy.
Yeah.
And then we're just like, I gotta go to
No.
work tomorrow.
Mhm.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
but we had a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know that could be the dark side to it. Not saying that was cosplay, but I can only imagine all the time and effort you put into it. So yeah, that's pretty incredible. All right, Scott, do you want to? Oh, actually, Kacie, while we have you back, we asked Jamie this question right off the bat, and we're curious your thoughts as well, which is, if you had to live in any fictional anime world for 1 week, which one would it be?
You said any fictional anime world?
Anime.
Yeah, I guess
Mhm.
there's any anime world.
Oh no,
I don't know why fictional
I'm
is
just, I'm
it's a
of
little
course it's trying to
redundant.
reconnect. Why would
Nobody
it
edited
not?
my
Attack on
questions. Thanks,
Titan
guys.
is not a good one.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's actually tough, because I would want to say like Jujutsu Kaisen, just for like the fact that like Gojo's in it, but like that would be awful because it's scary there.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm guessing Attack on Titan's out.
trying to think. Let's
you
see.
You have Pokemon. You
Yeah,
have-
that one.
You have Haikyuu.
Gosh, no, thank you. That's
Attack
what I
on
was
Titan.
thinking.
Yeah.
Haikyuu. I would
Haikyuu.
just love to like be like, because I used to play volleyball when I was younger, so it would just be fun, and I love that anime, and nobody dies technically.
Yeah.
Yep. I like it. That's a great answer. Yeah, I think you killed it. That's perfect. Scott, any thoughts?
No, I mean, that is the smarter way to go. My brain always is like, what's the craziest action-packed anime? Because those are the ones I'm watching normally. But I die instantly, I'm sure, in any of these worlds. I'm never going to be
No
the
survival.
dude powering up. I'm going to be the guy shopping and gets smashed in the building. So, like, Even a sports anime, if I'm not playing the sports, I at least get to exist on the sidelines. Like, yeah, this is an awesome
cool.
game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not a bad answer.
No, that's a good one. Absolutely. All right, let's see here. So, what is one misconception that you both think? What's one misconception about nerddom that you refute or fall into? I know this is a deep one. Drake, throw some zingers.
Yeah. It's funny. We actually just talked about something similar on my reflections on turning 30. And I feel like one that a lot of people always say is that it's weird if you are nerdy about something or passionate about something that you want to dress up in a costume. As a nerd, it's not. Like, do what you love. If you want to participate in cosplay, do it. It's so much fun. If you don't want to participate, let people have their fun. No one's forcing you to do anything. Just be happy with how you participate. Try it out. You never know if you'll like it or not. I entered my first cosplay contest at the Supernatural convention, and I won first place.
Wow.
Right on. That's awesome.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. So I feel like, people always say that it's a bad thing to be fanatic and to be a fan. And I think some people can take it too far, but I think for the majority of us, it's also fun. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to bring you joy. It's meant to help you through life in this weird world that we live in. So it's okay to be a fanatic about something.
Yeah, absolutely. And people with sports do it all the time.
Yeah, as long as you're not hurting anybody.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? Like what you like. It's fun. I think it's fun. And work sucks. Life sucks. Life is hard. And if I want to enjoy something to get away, let me do it.
Hell yeah.
100%.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I love it. I was listening to something recently and they were comparing sports fanaticism to nerd fanaticism, and it's there's not a lot of different, like, both dress up in certain colors of their favorite person, player, or team. You pay exorbitant amounts of money to see these things, or the people who create it or play it, and it could take up like majority of a weekend or your bank account. So it's not that much exactly. So totally, I love that. I think you're right. I mean, life's too short. If we've learned anything from COVID, it's like you should try to do as much fun stuff that you love as you can, because one day there might be a panorama and then you can't really even get into it and do the things you love or be around people who also love those things. So I think that's awesome. All right, Scott, I'm going to take it away on the next one.
Since we were mentioning conventions, do you guys have, I'm sorry, Thomas?
Sorry, was I lagging? Nope. Go for it.
Oh, okay. Do you have a favorite convention? I know, Kacie, you said you've been to one, but like if you had to maybe pick the next one you want to go to or whatnot, is there one that always is calling to you?
I mean, always the Comic-Cons. Like, I've always wanted to go to a Comic-Con. BlizzCon is another one that I've always wanted to go to.
Yeah. Sorry, you cut out a little bit there, so that's why. Sorry, we weren't sure if you were done speaking. I'm sorry.
Oh, my bad. My internet just hates me. I'm sorry. Comic-Con and BlizzCon.
BlizzCon.
Right.
Heck yeah. I actually went last year and it was insane to it's obviously the same place as WonderCon at the Anaheim Convention Center, but the sponsors and the scope and the worlds they build out in each massive room.
Not Tom's lagging.
Oh, I'm lagging too? Perfect. But yeah, it was just a fun time.
That's awesome. I think the next convention that I would like to shoot for is New York Comic-Con.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That one always looks so awesome.
Yeah, there's so many people that I follow on social media that go, and I'm just like, it looks like such a good time. I've never been to New York either, so it'd be really cool to do a convention and then do like a normal vacation, go see all the sights kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
definitely. Because
definitely. Yeah.
it's like the place it's at too, plus the con, and the celebrities that show up, people go all out. Like
Yeah.
New York is. I just agree with you. I feel like that's 100% on my list,
Yeah.
and that con keeps getting bigger and bigger too. So
I know, it's crazy. It feels like every year they up the ante for it, and I'm just like, I didn't think you could get crazier, but okay.
yeah, definitely. Definitely. You're getting all those like New York studios and actors and all that stuff too, which is cool. It's, people probably don't want to go all the way to San Diego or LA now. So yeah, I agree with you. It sounds like a blast.
Yeah.
All right, Scott, you got something next?
Yeah, so this is kind of like a little tangent, but I'm interested. Do you guys have like a favorite like feel good movie or show that you like tend to like go to maybe on a rainy day, or if you're just like, this day's crap, I'm turning on insert show or movie?
I'm gonna sound like a crazy person. My comfort show is Supernatural.
Nice.
Which I know is like monster killing and drama and sadness, but there's, I would say, at least a couple episodes every season that I could just, especially if I'm feeling like sad, that just make me laugh. And the sense of humor in that show is very much on par with my sense of humor. So good. I also really like a show called Psych that used to be on USA Network.
Oh yeah, Psych is great.
Yeah, Psych was awesome
Yes,
too.
so good. That's definitely, I could start at any point in the series and then just go and know exactly what's happening because I've seen it so many times. But those are my two go-to shows.
I love it. We do have a follow-up question exactly on Supernatural too, because I mean, you sound like an expert. You went to the Supernatural Con. Is there a certain name for it, by the way?
I think it's just the Supernatural Convention. I don't think it has an official name. At least not that I'm aware of.
Okay, perfect. I just didn't want to sound like a noob, and I'm like Super Con or whatever, right? So, but okay, it sounds like you are both pretty big fans of Supernatural, but I've never dove into it. Is it too late for me to check out the show?
No.
And if not, then where would you tell me to start? Like
the beginning.
At episode right at the beginning? Okay.
Right at the beginning. Because for Supernatural, it's told in a very linear fashion. So if you watch it out of order, you're going to be confused instantly.
Okay.
But the first few seasons really sets the tone because it's, I would say seasons like 1 through 3 is very much monster of the week. So it goes from week to week. You're dealing with a new monster, and that sets your baseline of what they usually fight. And then because I believe Sam is supposed to be like 19, 20, and Dean's supposed to be like 25. So they're younger, and they only know what they're doing from their dad. So you kind of learn alongside them, and then things that seemed really big in season 1, by the time you get to season like 6, you're like, oh, that's small beans. They're just fighting a demon. You use this, this, and this, and you're good to go. I would definitely start at the beginning, because the first 5 seasons are written by Eric Kripke, who created Supernatural. So you definitely want to watch those.
Eric Kripke created Supernatural? How do I...
did.
I know that there was a connection there because Jensen Ackles comes in The Boys and like some other actors, but I didn't even realize he created that too. That's awesome.
Did. Yeah, so definitely a lot of people call it the Kripke era. It was supposed to end at season 5, so when you get to that season 5, season 6 transition, you can feel the difference. So season 6 is a little but a lot of people say it should have ended at season 5, but there's so many amazing characters that we either get introduced to or we get to know further, and you just fall in love with the characters even more. So definitely start at the beginning. It's 15 seasons. I know it's a lot, but it's such a good show.
Yeah, that's like a One Piece endeavor, but if you swear by it, and it seems like you do, I'm definitely going to attempt it, because so many good actors were in that show through the course of all the seasons. Yeah, I got to check it out.
Yeah.
Scott, have you checked out Supernatural?
I haven't. I think I felt so overwhelmed at first. A few of my friends and I were like, I guess gonna get into it at the same time, and then like somehow I felt behind, so far behind, and then I'm like, well, I'm not like in the same group as you guys now, because you guys got all the inside jokes, like so I felt defeated for a bit, but I think enough time has passed, I can move on and try it again.
Yeah,
So.
definitely. It's such a good show. And it deals with a lot of topics because obviously the Winchesters go from having both parents and then their mom gets murdered and then eventually their dad dies. So it deals with a lot of especially different situations of grief, and each of the brothers deals with it differently. But then also there's times of joy and excitement, and you get to kind of see them come into their own and grow together and apart as brothers. So it's a really interesting journey to see them go through.
Dang.
It's not at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to write the IMDb for that because you sold me. I'm like, oh my gosh, the
You're like,
emotional
checking it out.
drama here is like, it's sold. I'm in.
Yeah.
So I don't remember if I've already asked you this. I'll probably just edit it out. So why start the podcast? I know we talked about it. I can't remember if we talked about that before recording or not, but either way, why start the podcast?
Hold on a second. Kacie's internet is not cooperating, so she's gonna try and get back in, but we'll see if she actually does.
Okay. Not a problem. She was like, these guys suck. I'm out. I
Yeah,
get
she's
it.
like, bye.
Yeah.
Fair though.
Podcast wise, I know Kacie touched on this. This was all her. She's a podcast junkie, and she is all in. And so I remember I was actually on my trip in England, and she texted and
humble
she's like, "I know
brag.
you're busy being out of the country, but when you get back, I want to start a podcast." And I thought we could do it together. And I was like, okay, I'm going to have to listen to a podcast now because I don't listen to any. And to understand what we're doing. And we do it very much like you guys, where it's just a conversation. We pick a topic. We don't have a script. We just kind of go. And just let it flow. Let it, go whatever which way we're talking about.
Meander, snake through, but yeah, Matt, your banter, what's banter together is incredible. You guys have this awesome flow, and you can tell your friends, and it just kind of shines through in the podcast. And yeah, I think we're all very fortunate that you both have started one. And I'm frozen. Aren't I?
Thank you. Yeah, a little bit.
You were
but,
frozen.
We got the gist. We got the gist.
Yeah. I am interested though. So you said you didn't really listen to any podcasts prior to starting one. Are there any now that like you're like, oh, now that I do one, I get a better idea of what's going on with it? Are there ones that you kind of want to check out? Because I feel like there's a podcast on every show now. I'm like watching Shogun, and it's like check out the podcast after the show.
Yeah.
So like, is there like a supernatural one you're checking out now? Like, or
there's two of the actresses from Supernatural have a podcast. I can't think of what the name is right now, but I started theirs, and then I've been watching YouTubers forever, and so a lot of times if a YouTuber that I like starts a podcast, I will normally pay attention to that. So I know way back in the day, Grace Helbig and Mamrie Hart had a podcast called Not Too Deep, and so I've started re-listening to that. And then the one that actually caught my attention right before Kacie proposed the podcast was the Ned's Declassified podcast, where they're watching through Ned's Declassified with the original cast.
Oh, okay.
And so to see their banter back and forth is really fun because they're about the same age as I am. So it's like
nice.
My humor, but also like same place in life kind of thing.
Totally.
But,
I don't like
so
Ned's Declassified sounds so familiar, and I can't think of what it is. Like, what kind of show is it?
Nickelodeon show. It was a Nickelodeon show back in the day.
Ooh,
where
Nickelodeon
it was like,
kind of has a little bit of bad rep right now.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
But yeah, so it was a show that I watched back in the day, so I think that's why it caught my attention, because I love the show. So the fact that the original three were back together doing a project, I was like, yes, I'm in.
Nice. That's cool, because I do love hearing that you get the behind the scenes in real time, because while they're watching it, I'm sure they're like, oh my god, that day, I don't know if I told you guys this, but I came in, I was feeling like this, and then they're like, oh my god, and like, so they're all discovering new things while they relive these memories. I do love stuff like that, so that's a good call.
Yeah, absolutely. Office Ladies is like that too, with Pam and Angela. That's always a great one. You learn so much about The Office from behind the scenes of it. You're like, and then you think about that episode, and yeah, it just changes it. So
Yeah.
I do love podcasts like that too. But that's awesome. Did I just delete that? Okay, here's my questions. They're back. I was like, oh shoot, all my questions just deleted. They did not. So, what thing is currently consuming you from pop culture right now? Or what's giving you joy?
One Piece.
Nice.
Good. Great
Um,
answer.
Yeah,
Awesome answer.
especially now that I'm currently on vacation, it's just been One Piece. I have a lot of friends who are in, I want to say like the 700s and 800s, right? So I'm trying to like
Wow.
catch up and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, One Piece has been making me very happy. I'm trying to think what else
Nice.
I've seen lately, or it's just been a lot of One Piece all day.
Okay.
Every day.
Question on One Piece. I know there's like, since the last arc, I'm caught up. So, but I've been seeing a lot of spoilers because everyone's excited about what just kind of happened. Are you like running into this problem at all, or are you one that's
No.
like don't mind spoilers? Like, how do you
I
feel
hate
about that?
spoilers, but also
cool.
I'm one of those people who, like, if you tell me a spoiler and I'm not truly paying attention to what you're saying, I won't remember it. Like, it's
Okay,
just
yeah.
it won't
like that
it won't
too,
be
yeah.
there.
Yeah,
I'll,
yeah.
I'll
We have that in
vaguely-
common.
Yeah, I'll vaguely remember you mentioning something about it, but I won't remember exactly what it is. But
Yeah.
like, if you like spoil the end of something, like the end of a movie or a character dying, that sticks in my head forever. So
Yeah.
if you say
Yeah,
so and
that's
so
horrible.
dies, forever cemented, and then I'm just sad the whole lead up to that character dying.
Yeah, like come on, people. Let's not do spoilers. There's too much online of those these days, and it's just to get first. But it's like I don't like things that get spoiled either. That's like where all the magic happens. You know,
Yeah.
like if somebody told me Cap was going to be able to grab Mjolnir or call Mjolnir to him, like I would have been so sad. That would
Yeah,
ruin the whole movie for me.
Yeah.
yeah, because
This-
then the whole like in the theater would be gone because you're like, I already knew that
Or-
was gonna happen.
Or there's just confusion. Like, I
Right.
remember before going to watch the first Shrek movie, my friend had just seen it, and he was like, "Oh, it's so funny." He's like, "Let me tell you this one part." And I'm like, nothing big." He's like, "Nah, it's not big. But she's an ogre the whole time." And I'm like, "Okay." And I'm like, "Okay, that's not that big." And I'm watching the movie, and I'm like, all these little hints. I was like,
Right.
"Oh yeah, because she's an ogre," you know. And then when
Yeah.
people were like, "Oh my god," I was like, "Did we not know this?" Like,
Yeah.
I was so angry. It ruined the whole feel of the movie. Oh, that fool. We don't talk anymore. So
Yeah, I like that you said nothing big, and he was just like, "She's an ogre." That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge that she's an
Nothing.
ogre.
Yeah. Hey, nothing big. Darth Vader's Luke's dad. Bye.
Yeah.
You're like, what? What? Why?
How do you
Why would
ruin a
do
movie
that?
in one line? Go.
Yeah.
You're just like, what the hell, dude?
That would be a fun segment. I'm not gonna lie. I would love that.
Oh man.
But yeah, it's funny. On our show also we have Drake, and Drake doesn't mind spoilers at all, which bless him. I don't know how he does it, but yeah, for me it's very much like I don't want to know spoilers. We review trailers here as well, and it's like sometimes I don't even want to watch the last couple of trailers because I'm already sold on the movie.
Mhm.
Like I'm gonna go,
Yeah.
so I don't need to see anything else. It's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, I think we're
I
good
try
there.
to stay away from trailers because I feel like a lot of times I pick up on the stuff that they didn't necessarily want the audience to pick up on, and then I can figure out the movie, or I figure out the important piece of the movie, and then I see it and I'm like, well, you gave me the whole
Yeah.
movie in the trailer. So I normally will watch like their first trailer and that's it.
Right.
Like the teaser or
Avoid
something.
everything else.
Teasers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We'll avoid
What is
everything
your-
else.
Sometimes,
Oh, go for it, Scott.
no, I was gonna say sometimes they just throw the turning point in the trailer, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, that's the tilt. Like,
Yeah.
why'd they show that? Like,
Yeah.
Right,
Like,
right.
what are you
Yeah.
doing?
So have you seen the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer?
I have seen bits and pieces. I have not seen the full trailer. I follow both Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman on social media, so I've seen like their
Yeah.
stuff that they've posted, but I haven't actually like watched the trailer because I want to be in a world where you see so much imagery and trailers and stuff for everything. I want to go into a movie completely blown away, completely surprised. I don't want to know anything until I've seen the movie, and then I will go back and watch all the trailers, look at all the pictures, all of that mumbo jumbo. But I just want to go in with a clean slate. Like, all you had to say was that Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds were going to be in a movie, and I'm like, I'm in. I don't care what it is. I'm in.
I could not agree more. Yeah, I was like, as soon as I saw the yellow and red, I was like, I'm there day one. Absolutely.
I wish there was like a non-spoiler filter you could put on your social medias and internet or something.
Yeah.
Just turn that right off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or on.
Probably unfollow us then, because we probably give a ton of shit away.
Yeah. We should probably do a better job of giving people a heads up before we go into spoilers. Too.
Totally.
We get so excited sometimes. We just start lead with spoilers and we're like, crap. Yeah. So
I've been trying to guide you guys not in that direction as much as possible, which I think we're getting better at it. But
I think we're getting better.
Before it was spoiler territory everywhere.
Froze a little bit, buddy.
Frozen.
But yeah, before we would just like, spoiler city. And then I have friends that are like, oh well, I didn't listen because I didn't watch that yet. And I'm like, that's fair.
Yeah.
And then I say you're not real friends, so it's fine. It's so good.
Yeah, of course. And then we don't talk to them anymore.
Yeah. You don't need them. It's fine.
But yeah, that's kind of all we've had for you tonight. It's been such a pleasure. We're sorry that Kacie, was having technical difficulties, but Jamie, it's been lovely to talk to you. You both really do have such an awesome, fun podcast. And if anything, like, I think, I don't know, you might be able to tell people better where to start in your show. But that 30 episode that you just did for your birthday, I really, really loved it. I thought you had such wonderful insight in there. And then it was so fun. Everything that we strive to do and never can on this show, you were able to do on that one. So, I don't know. Where can people find you? Where can people support you and all of that?
You can thank you for all of the nice things, first of all. I love your guys' podcast too. It's a lot of fun. It's interesting when you get 3 people in a podcast. Because I feel like the dynamic is absolutely hilarious. But you can you can find us everywhere on the internet. Our main socials, I would say, would be Instagram and Spotify is where we kind of keep everything up to date. But we have a YouTube channel that you guys can join us on. We are on Apple Podcasts, TikTok, Facebook. I think that's it. I can never remember
social
the whole
medias.
list. All the socials.
Yeah.
We're always 2 nerds and a podcast. And yeah. We like to have fun on our podcast. Honestly, for us in particular, unless you're tuning into something specific like The Boys, which has multiple seasons, or Stranger Things, which has multiple seasons, you can pretty much start anywhere in our podcast. We don't have any particular order that we're in. We just, again, we pick a topic and we just go. And it just takes us where it goes.
I love it. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, Scott, do you have anything else to say?
I second what Thomas was saying. You guys have like great chemistry together. And like your laughs are infectious. It's like something people don't say enough. I feel like some people are great laughers, and you both have great laughs.
Amazing.
It makes me want to laugh along with you when I'm listening to podcasts. So
I agree on that big time.
So I can't wait to check out more episodes.
Yep. Well, all right, Jamie, before you go, unfortunately, we couldn't get Kacie back. But before you go, we asked all of our guests to say it. You can put whatever spin you want on it. It's hopefully nothing too derogatory or whatever. But we just asked all of our guests to say, thanks for sticking it with us. And you can have the final words.
Okay. So thanks for sticking it with us. And we, possibly, me, I don't know, these guys, will see you in the next episode.
Yeah. Right on. Heck yeah. All right. Aloha, everybody. Thanks.
Bye.
Joy Schtick Show. The Joy Schtick Show.